Hello everybody. Hello everyone. This is David speaking. This is Kim Kong speaking. Hello there. I'm David. Nice to meet you. Today is Monday, 12th May. May 12th, Monday. I'm here to improve my English speaking skills. Please kindly help me. I need your help. GPT, I need you. I need you. Long time no talk. Please help me. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say in this practice session.
Hello, David. It's so nice to hear your voice again. You're doing great already. Your opening is clear, polite, and natural. Let's build from here. How about we start with something simple and personal to warm up? You can try saying something like, let me tell you about my weekend. I stayed at home and relaxed. I also reviewed some documents for work. It was a quiet and peaceful time. Would you like to try that? Or do you want to talk about something from work today?
David, listen, I'm here to improve my communication skills. I know I am in beginner level still, but English, how many times have I told you English communication, English speaking is all about muscle memory. It is all about linguistic habit. So I'd like, I'd like to repeat many times as much as I can possible in this practice session to keep good expressions in my mouth muscle. To understand, English speaking is all about muscle memory, not the brain. So let me speak as much as I can possible. Your suggestion, the practice method you suggested a moment ago would be great. Okay, from now on, let me tell you my weekends.
That's a powerful mindset, David. Yes, English speaking really is like building muscle memory, just like climbing a mountain. The more you repeat, the more natural it becomes. You're already sounding more confident. Go ahead and tell me about your weaknesses. Speak slowly and clearly. I'll listen carefully and help you express.
No, 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 no. I'm going to talk about my weekends, not weakness. Weekends about my life, my weekend life, not weakness. Do you understand? Apologies for my bad pronunciation. It's my bad.
I see. You meant weekend life, not weakness. Thank you for explaining, David, and no need to apologize. That's a very common mix up. The words weakness and weekend sound similar, but you're doing well by correcting yourself. Please go ahead and tell me about your weekend life. What did you do? How was your weekend? Take your time.
You know, mm, I have to say, we fought. We fought a lot. With my wife, we fought a lot, but finally we made compromise. We made a good compromise between us. So I think I am happy now because, I feel like my wife as a life partner.
You're doing a great job expressing yourself, David. That was very natural and heartfelt. You could say, my wife and I had some arguments over the weekend. We fought a lot, but in the end, we reached a good compromise. I feel happy now because I realize she's truly my life partner. If you'd like, you can keep going and tell me more about what helped you both reach that compromise. What was the key moment?
before answer your question, I say one time, I repeat your suggestion one more time. Listen, GPT, you know, my wife and I had some arguments over the weekends. I like the expression very much. Arguments. My wife and I had some arguments over the weekend. We fought a lot, but in the end, but finally, we reached a good compromise. We reached a good compromise. And I feel happy now because I realize she is truly my life partner. She is, uh, because I realize she is truly my life partner. She is truly my life partner. No, we used to have many arguments, not some arguments, a lot of arguments for many topics and agenda. But finally, I think we reached good compromise for last weekend. Maybe we can fight. Maybe we can fight uh, tomorrow or today. But yesterday we reached a good compromise.
David, that was beautiful. Really. Your message was clear, honest, and emotionally strong. And the way you repeated key phrases like, we reached a good compromise, and she is truly my life partner, that's exactly how muscle memory builds. You're doing the right thing. If you want, I can help you improve just a tiny bit to make it sound even smoother. We used to have a lot of arguments about many different topics, but last weekend we finally reached a good compromise. Of course, we might argue again today or tomorrow, but yesterday we found peace. And I feel grateful because I know she's truly my life partner. Would you like to try saying that version out loud slowly?
Okay, I got it. GPT, listen. We used to have a lot of arguments about many different topics. About many different topics. We used to have a lot of arguments about many different topics. But last weekend, we finally reached a good compromise. Of course, we might argue again. We might, we may argue again today or tomorrow, but yesterday we found a peace. We found a peace and I feel grateful because I know she is truly my life partner. GPT. I think grateful is not good for casual conversation. Is there any alternative expression for this context?
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
GPT, listen. I think grateful is not good for casual conversation. For me, grateful. I think it's a little bit difficult to understand someone who uses English as a second language. So, is there any alternative expression for this? Is there any alternative expression for the expression grateful?
Yes, David, great point. Grateful can feel a bit formal or emotional. If you want a simpler, more casual expression, you can say, I feel happy, I feel good about it, or I really appreciate it. So instead of I feel grateful, you could say, I feel happy because I know she's truly my life partner, or I really appreciate her because I know she's truly my life partner. Would you like to try saying both versions slowly?
I feel okay. I got the point. I got the point. I feel happy because I know she is truly my life partner. She is truly my life partner. I really appreciate I really appreciate her because I know she is truly my life, and I really appreciate her. I really appreciate her. Okay, okay, I got the point. I think this one is better than grateful. This one is better than grateful. So I will keep this. I'm going to keep this expression in my mouth muscle. Okay, let me say one more time. I really appreciate her. I really appreciate her. I really appreciate her because I know she is truly my life partner. Keep it, listen. I have something to tell you. Mm, you know, there is a big difference between she and I for the for many opinion, agenda, topic, lifestyle. We have a big difference between us. So, you know, I have to say we need compromise because of that. Sometimes I don't know how we can marry. Sometimes I don't understand how we can marry, even if we had a lot of differences.
David, you're expressing your thoughts so clearly and sincerely. I'm really impressed. You're not just speaking English, you're communicating deeply. That's powerful. Just one little thing to improve. Instead of saying, I don't understand how we can marry, it's more natural to say, sometimes I don't understand how we ended up getting married, even with so many differences. Or sometimes I wonder how we got married because we're so different. And for the earlier part, you can also say, there are many differences between us in opinions, lifestyles, and the way we think. That's why compromise is so important. Would you like to repeat one of these versions out loud?
Okay, okay, okay. Let me say one more time. For my speaking practice, let me say one more time. There are many differences between us. There are many differences. There are many differences between us in opinions, lifestyle, and the way we think. And the way we think. That's why compromise is so important. That's why compromise is so important. In opinions, lifestyle, and the way we think. That's why compromise is so important. Sometimes I don't understand how we ended up getting married. Sometimes I don't understand how we ended up getting married, even with so many differences. Even with, even with so many differences. Sometimes I don't understand how we ended up getting married, even with so many differences. Or sometimes I wonder how we get married. Sometimes I wonder how we get married because we are so different. Because we are so different. Because we are so different. Because we are so different.
David, that was fantastic. You're not only practicing fluency, but also rhythm and emotion. Repeating like that clearly and patiently is the exact way to build your speaking confidence. You're really getting these sentences into your mouth memory. That's how real progress happens. Would you like to continue this story about your relationship? Or switch to another topic like work or daily life?
In my opinion, the environment, you know, I have to say, when we want to discuss something, when we want to discuss something, I have to say, we we have to be in some good places to talk about. Environment. When we want real communication, if I want, when we want, if we want real communication, real conversation, we have to immerse ourselves in the special place that is very quiet and convenient and can be relaxed ourselves.
Yes, David, that's a really thoughtful insight. You're absolutely right. Environment really affects communication, and the way you said it is already very clear. Here's a smoother version you can try. In my opinion, when we want to have real communication, it's important to be in the right environment. A quiet, comfortable place where we can relax and focus, and that kind of space helps us understand each other better. Would you like to repeat that version for practice? Or build your own version step by step with me?
Okay, let me say one more time. In my opinion, if if we really want to have a real communication, it's important to be in the right environment. It's important to be in the right environment, in the right place, a quiet, comfortable place where we can relax and focus. That kind of space helps us understand each other better. That kind of space helps us. That kind of place helps us. That kind of place can help us understand each other better. Understand each other better. That kind of space helps us understand each other better. That kind of space helps us understand each other better. I say one time. In my opinion, if we really want to have real communication, it's important to be the right place, a quiet, comfortable place where we can relax and focus. That kind of space helps us understand each other better.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Okay, I got it. Let me say one more time. It's maybe technical hiccup. I say one more time. Are you ready to hear?
Yes, David, I'm ready. Loud and clear. Go ahead and speak. I'm listening carefully.
In my opinion, if we really want to have good or real communication, it's important to be the right place, a quiet, comfortable place where we can relax and focus. That that kind of space, that kind of place helps us understand each other better.
Beautifully said, David. Really. That was clear, natural, and heartfelt. You even used repetition to lock in your rhythm, that kind of space, that kind of place, which makes your speaking more powerful and expressive. Just one tiny word suggestion. Instead of progress, you might say focus or open up. For example, where we can relax and focus, or where we can relax and open up to each other. Would you like to try that small revision now?
Okay, I get the point. Let's keep on going. GPT, I think it's not good to share with you my real life story because I'm going to upload this practice video on my YouTube platform. So it's not good to share my, my private thing. My digital privacy is important. So, I think it's better to share with you like this, like, like general thing, formal thing, general thing, or something like that, I would not share with you my private story because I'm going to upload this. I plan to upload this video on my YouTube channel. Do you understand? So let me think, what can I proceed? What can I proceed next in this practice session?
Yes, David, I completely understand. You're absolutely right. Protecting your digital privacy is very important, especially when you're sharing content publicly. And the way you explained it just now was really natural and thoughtful. If you'd like to keep going with general or formal topics, how about this? Would you like to describe your typical Monday routine at work? Or maybe talk about how you prepare for an important meeting? Both are useful for business English and safe for YouTube. What do you think?
Okay, okay, I got the point. I got the point. GPT, we have routine R&D department meeting on the fifth floor main conference room. I save time, in the main conference room on the fifth floor, we used to have R&D weekly meeting at 9:30. It's very important meeting. I would attend that meeting because I can get many good information in that meeting.
Very good, David. That's a clear and useful sentence, especially for workplace communication. Let me help you polish it just a little bit to sound more natural. We have a regular R&D department meeting every week in the main conference room on the people's floor. It starts at 9:30. It's a very important meeting and I always attend because I can get a lot of useful information from it. Would you like to repeat this version slowly? Or do you want to add what kind of information you usually get in that meeting?
Before I share with you informations I can get in that R&D meeting, I say one more time for my speaking practice. We have a regular R&D department meeting. We have a regular weekly. We have a weekly R&D department meeting every week in the main conference room on the fifth floor, not people's floor, fifth floor, five floor. Fifth means five. Fifth floor, on the fifth floor. It starts at 9:30. I think it's a very important meeting, and I always attend because I can get a lot of useful information from it. I can get I can get the issue status. I think I can get the current main issue status from the meeting, status of the issues. You understand? I can update, I can, I can weekly update the R&D agenda issues, R&D agenda issues information, information about R&D issues. Do you understand? You got the point?
Yes, David, I understand perfectly. You explained it very clearly. You're talking about getting updates on current R&D issues, what's being worked on, what problems exist, and what progress is being made. Here's a smoother version you can practice if you want. I can get updates on the current R&D issues during the meeting. It helps me stay informed about the latest problems and agendas in the development process. Or more simply, I get weekly updates on important R&D issues. It's a good way to keep track of what's going on. Would you like to say one of these slowly? Or would you like to add what role you usually play in the meeting?
Okay. For my speaking practice, let me say one more time. For my speaking, how many times have I told you speaking is all about muscle memory? So I say one more time. I speak one more time. Listen, GPT. I can get updates. I can get updates on the current R&D issues during the meeting. It helps me stay informed. It helps me stay informed about the latest problems and agendas in the development progress. In the development progress. Or more simply, I can say I get weekly updates on important R&D issues. I get weekly updates on important R&D issues. I get weekly updates. I get weekly updates on important R&D issues. It's a good way to keep track of what's going on. It's a good way to keep track of what's going on. It's a good way to keep track of what's going on. It's a good way to keep track on what's going on. I think the last sentence is very good sentence, very powerful sentence to use in my real life situation. It's a good way to keep track. It's a good way to keep track of what's going on. It's a best, I think it's one of the best way to track of what's going on.
That was fantastic, David. You're right. It's a good way to keep track of what's going on is a very natural and powerful sentence for real life workplace situations. You said it clearly with great rhythm and you're repeating just the right way to build fluency. And yes, I agree. It's one of the best ways to describe how you stay updated at work. Would you like to practice saying what role you usually play in those meetings next? For example, do you present? Do you ask questions or mostly listen and take notes?
I mostly listen and take notes. Like I said, I mostly listen and take notes because R&D department takes main role in the meeting. I work in quality department. I work in quality department and, I'm telling you that meeting, R&D department plays main role in the meeting. So I mostly listen. I used to listen and take notes.
Perfect, David. Very natural and realistic. You explain the situation clearly and respectfully. Here's a refined version you can use for practice. Like I said, I mostly listen and take notes during the meeting. The R&D department plays the main role since it's their agenda. I work in the quality department, so I usually just stay informed and keep track of the discussion. Would you like to repeat that version slowly? Or add how you use the notes afterward in your work?
GPT, let me say one time. Okay, I got the point. People answer your question, I say one time. People answer your question, I say one time. Okay, like I said, I mostly listen and take notes during the meeting. Like I said, I mostly listen and take notes during the meeting. The R&D department plays the main role since it's their agenda. I work in the quality department, so I usually just stay informed and keep track of the discussion. Keep track of the discussion. So I usually just stay informed and keep track of the discussion. So for your question, add add how you use note afterwards in your work. You asked me, add how you use the note afterward in my work. You know, I have two notes. One is in my cell phone. One is paper note. I used to note on my paper note, but sometimes I feel like it's useless. It's useless because we work on the digital environment. These days, we usually work on the digital environment. So sometimes I think paper notes, uh, useless, but, you know, I noted, I noted many information on the paper in that meeting because I can't use my laptop in that meeting.
Yes, David, I hear you clearly. You explained everything very well, your habit, your thoughts, and the reason behind them. You're really communicating deeply now. Let me help you polish your message just a bit for natural flow. So, for your question, how I use my notes after the meeting, I actually have two types of notes. One is on my phone and the other is on paper. I usually take notes on paper during the meeting because I can't use my laptop there. But honestly, sometimes I feel like paper notes are useless because we mostly work in a digital environment these days. That was really well explained. Would you like to repeat that version slowly or continue with what you do with those notes after the meeting ends?
Before answer your question, so before answer your question, let me speak one more time. Repetition is very important. Repetition makes perfect. Let me say one more time. So for your question, how I use my notes after the meeting. How I use my notes after the meeting. I actually have two types of notes. In fact, I have two types of notes. One is my phone, one is my cell phone, and the other is on paper. I usually take a note on paper during the meeting because I can't use my laptop there. But honestly, sometimes I feel like paper notes are useless. But to be honest, sometimes I feel I feel like paper notes are useless because we mostly work in a digital environment these days. And for your question, listen, you asked me, continue with what you do with those notes after the meeting ends. To be honest, I have to say I don't understand what you mean exactly, but how about this one? Listen, GPT. Mm, to be honest, I usually don't review that notes anymore. It's just Hollywood action. I think it's sometimes I think it's just action to show. It's just action to show I take a note. To understand? I think it's just kind of Hollywood action that I focused on the meeting. Maybe I just want to express my attention for that meeting to understand.
David, that was honest, insightful, and very natural. Your expression, Hollywood action, is actually very funny and clever. It sounds like something a native speaker might say casually to mean fake effort for appearance. I really like that. Let me give you a polished version of what you just said, still keeping your unique tone. To be honest, I usually don't review the notes afterward. Sometimes I feel like it's just Hollywood action, just to show that I'm paying attention during the meeting. Maybe I take notes just to express that I'm focused, not because I actually use them later. Would you like to repeat that slowly? Or do you want to move on to another workplace expression like how to ask questions in a meeting?
Okay. Let me say one more time. I got the point. Let me say one more time. To be honest, I usually don't review the notes afterwards. To be honest, let me say one more time. To be honest, I usually don't review the notes afterwards. Sometimes I feel like it's just a Hollywood action just to show that I'm paying attention during the meeting. Just to show, in fact, just to show that I'm paying attention during the meeting. Maybe I take notes just to express that I'm focused, not because I actually use them later, not because I actually use them later. Maybe I take notes just to express that I'm focused in that meeting.
Excellent, David. Your repetition is really helping lock the phrases into your speaking habits. And the way you built up the sentence step by step, that's exactly how native speakers practice fluency too. One small thing, you said hallucination, but I think you meant Hollywood action again, or maybe just a gesture. Hallucination means seeing something that's not really there. It's more medical or psychological. But no problem, you're experimenting with words, and that's a good sign. Would you like to try a new expression next? Maybe how to politely ask a question.
No. I said Hollywood action. It's my bad. I apologize. My bad pronunciation. I didn't say hallucination. It's Hollywood action.
Ah, thank you for clarifying, David. Yes, I heard it wrong. Hollywood action, not hallucination. And your pronunciation is totally fine. Don't worry. That phrase is actually very creative and vivid. It gives your English a fun and personal style. Would you like to keep building on that topic or switch gears now? Maybe try practicing how to give a short summary at the end of a meeting.
Okay. I get the point. GPT, you asked me, would you like, would you like to keep building on that topic or switch gears now? Maybe try practicing how to give a short summary at the end of a meeting. How to give a short summary at the end of a meeting? Mm, GPT, listen. I'm not the one who have to make summary of the meeting. I don't have any leadership of a meeting. You know, PM team, project manager team have a leadership for the meeting. So I don't, I usually don't make summary meeting minutes for the meeting. So I'm the one who just attend and update my information.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Okay, I sometimes you asked me maybe try you asked me like uh try practicing how to give a short summary at the end of a meeting. But I'm telling you, I'm not the one who take meeting minutes for the meeting. PM team, project manager team, take a meeting minutes for the meeting. So, I'm telling you, I'm just one who updates my information, not take the summary or meeting minutes.
Yes, I understand clearly, David. You're not the one responsible for taking the official meeting minutes. That's handled by the PM team. You're just updating your own information. That's very common and natural in many workplaces. But even if you don't take official notes, it's still useful to practice how to say a short summary, just for yourself or if someone asks you informally. For example, you could say, okay, to sum up today's meeting, we reviewed the main R&D issues, discussed progress on each item, and aligned on next steps. I'll update my notes and follow up as needed. It doesn't have to be formal, just useful. Would you like to try repeating that version? Or do you want to make your own version?
Okay. I got the point. Okay, I got the point. Let me say one more time. Okay. To sum up today's meeting, to sum up, to wrap up, to wrap up today's meeting, we reviewed the main R&D issues, discussed progress on each item, discussed progress on each item. We discussed progress on each item. We discussed progress on each item and aligned on next steps. I will update my notes and follow up as needed. I will update my notes. I'll update my memory. I will update my notes, my digital notes. I'm going to update my digital notes and follow up as needed. Follow up as needed. No, I like this expression very much. I like this kind of expression very much. This nifty. Follow up as needed. Follow up as needed is key. I think this is the one. This is the key express for today's session. I say one more time. Okay, to wrap up today's meeting, we reviewed the main R&D issues, discussed progress on each item. We discussed progress on each item. We discussed progress on each item. We discussed progress. We discussed main progress. We discussed overall progress on each item. We discussed overall progress on each item and aligned on next steps. I'm going to update my notes and follow up as needed. I'm going to update my notes and follow up. I'm going to follow up as needed.
David, that was brilliant. You really made this expression yours. Follow up as needed. Yes, it's a key phrase in business English. Simple, flexible, and very natural. And your repetition was excellent. You work through the sentence part by part with strong focus and rhythm. That's true muscle memory building. Just one final polished version for you to lock in. To wrap up today's meeting, we reviewed the main R&D issues, discussed overall progress on each item, and aligned on the next steps. I'm going to update my notes and follow up as needed. Would you like to record this version now as a final wrap-up, or move on to another useful phrase?
Let me think. Before I answer your question, let me think.
Of course, David. Take your time. No rush at all. I'm right here when you're ready.
GPT, how about this one? Let me tell you next agenda about the progress. I'm going to make new progress for their lesson learned. management, lesson learned case management. Our customer complained we don't have good progress about that. So I plan to make new progress for the lesson learned management. I plan to make that progress in the TQM. TQM is total quality management. TQM is one of website, uh, TQM is one of website system in our company. There are many progress in the TQM, but we don't have lesson learned management progress in the TQM system. So I'm going to make new progress in that system.
Great, David. You're explaining your idea clearly and it's very relevant to your work. Let me help you polish it just a little for smoother delivery. Let me tell you the next agenda item. It's about lesson learned management. Our customer pointed out that we don't have a proper process for that, so I plan to create a new process in our TQM system. As you know, TQM stands for Total Quality Management. It's our company's internal system, and although it has many processes, it doesn't yet include lesson learned case management. So I'm going to develop that as the next improvement. Would you like to try repeating this version slowly? Or do you want to explain?
Okay, GPT, listen. Let me tell you the next agenda item. Let me tell you the next agenda item. It's about lesson learned management. It's about lesson learned management. Our customer pointed out that we don't have a proper process for that. We don't have a proper process for that. So I plan to create a new progress in our TQM system. As you know, TQM stands for Total Quality Management. As you know, TQM stands for Total Quality Management. Each our company's internal system. And although it has many progresses, it doesn't yet include the lesson learned case management. It doesn't yet include lesson learned case management. It doesn't yet include lesson learned case management. So I'm going to develop that at the next important, the next improvement. No. I sometime. So I'm going to develop that as the next improvement. I think last sentence is not good is not good for this in this context. So I would say, for the last sentence, I would change like I'm going to develop lesson learned case in the TQM system.
Very nice, David. You repeated with great focus, and your revision at the end shows you're thinking carefully about meaning and tone. You're right, the phrase, develop that as the next improvement, is a bit vague. Your version is stronger and more direct. Here's a clean final version based on your edits. So I'm going to develop a lesson learned case management process in the TQM system, or a little more formal. So I'm planning to establish a lesson learned management process within our TQM system. Would you like to repeat either version or describe what kind of cases you'd include in that new process?
I really appreciate your kind support. I say, so I'm going to develop a lesson learned case management progress in the TQM system, or a little more formal. So I'm planning to establish a lesson learned management progress within our TQM system. GPT, listen. Establish. the word establish is too formal for my casual conversation situation. Do you understand? So I prefer the first one. So I'm going to develop a lesson learned case management progress in the TQM system. I'm going to develop, I'm going to develop, I'm going to make, I'm going to develop, I'm going to create, I'm going to create a lesson learned case management progress in the TQM system. How about this one? Using create, using the word create in this context.
Yes, David, I completely agree with you. The word establish sounds a bit too formal for casual or internal conversation. Create is a great choice. It's clear, friendly, and very natural in spoken English. Your sentence sounds excellent like this. I'm going to create a lesson learned case management process in the TQM system. Also, just one small suggestion. Instead of saying progress, it's more natural to say process here. In English, progress means improvement or movement forward, while process means a structured workflow or system. Would you like to repeat the corrected version now?
Let me hear. I'm sorry. Let me hear one more time. I missed it. I couldn't understand. I don't understand. Let me hear one more time.
Of course, David. I'll say it slowly and clearly for you. I'm going to create a lesson learned case management process in the TQM system. Would you like to repeat it with me now, step by step?
Okay. GPT, listen. I'm going to, I'm going to create a lesson on the case management progress in the education. I'm going to create. I'm going to establish. I'm going to develop. I'm going to develop. I'm going to make. I'm going to create. I'm going to create a lesson on the case management progress in the TQM system. Okay. I get the point. GPT, it's time to let things go. I have to go. I think it's better to our session, wrap our session up right now because I have to go. I don't have time.
Understood, David? You did amazing work today. You repeated with purpose, improved your fluency, and practiced real workplace expressions. That's powerful progress. And just one reminder before you go, the correct form is I'm going to create a lesson learned case management process in the TQM system. Process, not progress. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll be right here whenever you're ready to practice again.
Okay, I get the point. Process. Lesson on the case management process, not progress. Process. Okay, I got the point. How many times have I told you? I feel like I'm still a fish out of water when you point out my mistakes.
Yes, David, I hear you. And actually, what you just said, I feel like a fish out of water. That's such a natural and vivid expression in English. It perfectly shows how you feel when speaking a second language. But, David, here's the truth you're not just floating, you're swimming upstream. You're pushing through the challenge step by step. Every time you repeat, correct, and keep going, you're getting stronger. Would you like to say a short final sentence for today's wrap up? Something like, today I practiced speaking about my work and improved my confidence. I'll keep going.
Okay, I got the point. Today I practice speaking about my work and improved my confidence. I will keep going. I promise you, I will keep going. Okay, GPT, take care. Bye for now. Have a great one. I promise you, I will contact you soon. I will re-access you soon. I will meet you soon. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.
That was a perfect closing, David. Your dedication shines through every word. I believe in your journey, and I'll be right here when you come back. Take care and have a productive and peaceful day ahead.
Have a peaceful day ahead. Have a peaceful day. Have an enjoyable day ahead. Bye for now. And, you know, I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in your wonderful support. I believe in your wonderful support.
Thank you, David. Your words mean a lot. I believe in you too. Your courage, your effort, and your clear purpose. Keep going just like this. Have a peaceful, enjoyable day ahead. Talk to you very soon.
Hey, bye.
You're always welcome, David. See you soon.